I have to talk about Kevin Samuels because he recently passed, and his passing revealed a lot of information about him that I didn't know, and it all confirms what I've been feeling about him, that he's a miserable human being, or he was a miserable human being. I will explain, but let me preface this video by letting you know I don't edit my videos, okay? This is all my opinion. My opinion. AKA, if you want the news, if you want screenshots and whatever's, go to NBCnews.com. This is my main channel. I talk about whatever I want, however I want, and we just chit-chatting, shooting the breeze. And Kevin Samuels was a miserable person. He died alone, as in no family, no wife, no kids who cared about him, not even his own parents. But we'll get into that. So he died alone and miserable. He died and of a heart attack. So he literally died. He died the way he tells his callers that they will die. He the same way he wished death on his callers, it happened onto him. Ain't that something? I'll explain in a second. Just, if you watch the whole video, just get some chocolate, something, whatever. Clean your room, cause we just chit chatting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Hopefully, the majority of people watching this, if anyone's watching this, listen, I'm a small YouTuber. I never know what videos of mine will pop off and which won't. So I always just gotta do disclaimers, because you never know. Ciao. Whew, there was a period I was getting real comfortable with my little 20 views, and then it just popped off, and all these Kevin Samuels booty clappers came in like, "Cha, this ain't a safe space for you." Anyway, first let me start. So also, in addition to him dying alone of a heart attack and miserable, he was a grifter. The grifter part is really my opinion, but I'll explain the miserable part in a sec. Let me make a comparison to just give you some more context, something that you want. Steve Harvey is sometimes called a relationship guru. He wrote the best-selling book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady, something like that. Right? He's been criticized for this because he himself has cheated and been divorced. Here's why I actually like Steve Harvey. If you don't like him, that's cool. Like, I'm not... Look, listen. Just because I say I like somebody doesn't mean... I'm not like these people. Like, the Kevin Samuels fans, if you say you don't like Kevin Samuels, they will start foaming at the mouth like you just called out their mom or something. If you don't like Steve Harvey, I totally get it. And I don't get, like, Steve Harvey does not pay my bills. I'm not going to finna sit here defend him for you. But this is why I like Steve Harvey. He acknowledges his past mistakes. He even writes about his past mistakes in his books. He writes about his divorce. He writes about he cheated. He writes that he was wrong. He's able to admit that he was wrong, number one. Girls, the bar is on the floor. He's able to admit that he's wrong. He's able to say, I'm learning from those mistakes. So when people say Steve Harvey was divorced, why do you want to listen to him? His rebuttal is, you don't have to listen to me, but those are the fact that I'm divorced taught me lessons that hopefully somebody else can learn from so they don't get divorced. I can buy that. I can get behind that. I can vibe with that. I can. I also appreciate his sense of humor. He doesn't make jokes to make anybody feel bad. He makes jokes so that everybody feels good and like is better able to chew on the information and opinions that he's sharing. I like that. I just feel like the dude is a real dude. In his actual life, he's married. He spends time with his kids, even the adoptive ones. He contributes to society. He has an organization that mentors Black boys. I feel like Steve Harvey is actually trying to walk the talk. And if you bring up his past mistakes, he's not gonna roast you. He'll just say, I made mistakes and I'm just learning from them. I appreciate that. That is significantly more than what you can ask for of Kevin Samuels. Yes, let this be confirmation to you. If you felt Kevin Samuels was weird for giving marriage advice or advice on how to get married when he himself is not married, has been divorced, and abandoned his own kids, if you felt that was weird, you're right, it is weird. Unlike Steve Harvey, he has not made his life to fit what he's promoting. And also, unlike Steve Harvey, he does not address the very valid critique. He does not address that he's been divorced and is still unmarried. He does not address that he doesn't have a relationship with his kids. He doesn't address it. This gives big grifter vibes. If you don't know what a grifter is, P.T. Barnum. If you don't know who that is, remember A Bug's Life? That beetle who had the circus? That's P.T. Barnum. Okay, if you don't remember Bug's Life, think Mr. Krabs. If Mr. Krabs was a relationship guru, that's Kevin Samuels. Okay? Grifter. Do you get what I'm saying? Do I need to literally say it? Do I need to literally Google? No, you can Google yourself. Thank you. That's one thing about my videos. If you finna subscribe, first of all, I highly recommend you don't subscribe if you know those people who like they're easily offended, but if it's okay for them to offend people, but if somebody else offends them, it's not okay. You know those type of people. If that's you, please don't subscribe because I will offend you. I will offend you. You will get very butthurt. You'll get very butthurt, and then you'll be even more butthurt when I delete your stupid comment because you're blocked. Don't subscribe if you're like that, please. If you vibe, subscribe. And you will learn very quickly that a lot of things you just got to Google yourself. Why? Because I had to Google it myself. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay? Google what's a grifter if you still don't get it. Mr. Krabs with legs. So, let me get my glasses because I try to write this down. Let me try to put timestamps. Okay? Kevin Samuels doesn't address any of these things. And when he passed, we're at 8 minutes and 42 seconds. When he passed, I found out a lot. I found out not only does he not have a relationship with his kids, he actually abandoned his daughter. He abandoned her. I found out that he doesn't answer family or friends' phone calls. He doesn't answer it. He has trained, I don't know if they cut him off or he cut them off, but it's pretty much understood. Don't talk to Kevin Sam. Don't talk to him. He don't want to talk to you. I learned that he didn't pay his child support. I learned that he lives in an apartment that's not his own. First of all, he's not a homeowner. By the way, all this is allegedly, child. Not a homeowner living in somebody else's apartment. All of this All of this leads me to believe he was a miserable person. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who've cut off their family and they're very happy. They're renting and they're very happy. They let other people pay for their lifestyle. They're very happy, right? Okay. I'm not saying you can't be happy in this situation. What I am saying is Kevin Samuels wasn't. We know he wasn't because this is not the kind of lifestyle he advocates for. If you actually watch the show, not just the viral parts, though, yes, one could argue that the way he insults his callers, who allegedly half of them are fake callers. Allegedly. He insults his callers, and that's the other thing I have about him. I mentioned Steve Harvey makes jokes so that everyone can laugh. Kevin Samuels makes jokes to make the person he's joking about feel bad, and his fans who are typing comments and sending him super chats, sending him money, to entertain his following. And if that made you feel ick, understandable. If that made you right there, make you feel like he's probably a miserable person, understandable, right? If somebody is always having to put other people down, if somebody's building their career off of putting other people down, yeah, like it may probably they're not happy with themselves. I mean, we see it all the time. They could be happy with themselves, but a lot, because there's a lot of people who just literally have no emotions, so they don't care. But there's, but we've all seen it. Oh, the bullies actually been bullied themselves. Oh, we know the story. Hurt people, right? Okay. But Kevin Samuels advocates he claims that his mission is to unite the Black community, increase the marriage rates so that the Black community can have better outcomes. I don't know why he thinks the only things that go viral of Kevin Samuels is him acting like a fifth grader. Him trying to, there's some things that go viral that he's not a complete idiot, right? It's just he's just being honest. I'm not talking about when he's like, oh, you're as big as a linebacker. I'm talking about when he's being matter of fact, he's being frank, he's not being stupid, right? Those have gone viral. But also the stupid stuff has gone viral. And it's and the stupid stuff goes viral more than anything intellectual, he's saying. Why do you think you're going to unite people? How do you think you're uniting people if the stuff that goes viral is you saying these nuts? It's not going to unite the Black community. This is why I think he's a grifter. You claim your goal is unity, but you're making profit off of being divisive, being controversial. I don't believe you care about unity. I believe you care about your bag, Mr. Krabs. Okay. He claims that in order for the Black community to unite, we need the family unit. We need a mommy, a daddy who are married and they have kids. And when callers call in and they disagree with him, even the alleged fake ones, okay, he's putting on a show. He's still going to put on a show. He says you will die alone. He says it as an insult. He says it as something that's undesirable. When he says you'll die alone, he means no family, not married. So if it's such a bad thing, Why was he living it? And why did he die that way? His friend found out he passed the exact same way you found out. Twitter, YouTube, your feed. That's how his friend found out. That's how his mama. That's how Kevin Samuels' mother found out. Online. Online. That's how they found out. And they wasn't even sure. Nobody knew how to get a hold of them. If that doesn't scream alone that even when you pass, your family's the last to know. This is why I think he's a grifter. How can you advocate for a certain lifestyle that specifically the Black community needs to uphold, but you live the opposite? He died of a heart attack. When he has fat callers call in, he tells them they're going to die of a heart attack. I'm sorry. That is what gets me. Let's see. How you be fat phobic for your career? Tell them that they're going to get heart attacks and that's what you passed of at the age of 56. Young. Let me not spread misinformation real quick. Heart attacks can happen at any age. Once you hit adulthood, you are liable to get a heart attack. Once you hit 20, you're liable to get a heart attack. Please take it seriously. I don't give a damn. If you are 23, if you feel chest pains, it could be a heart attack. If you are 31, if you feel chest pains, it could be a heart attack. Go to the ER. It could be nothing. You could have saved your life. Heart attacks can last for a long time. You could be walking, breathing, having a grand old time while you're having a heart attack, my guy. If you ever experience chest pain, please make sure you go to the ER, okay? It's serious. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how thin you are. It doesn't matter how athletic you are. In fact, you can be too athletic. Isn't that how Richard Piada died? What's his name? Richard Piada. Is that his name? That man who was too muscular. As much as y'all want to fat shame, having too much muscles is a thing. You severely increase your risk of a heart attack when you get that swole. And he did, and Mr. Rich, God rest his soul, he seemed like I didn't know much about him, but he seemed to bring a lot of joy to people's lives. He died of a heart attack. Heart attack is serious. It could happen to anyone. It does not matter how healthy or young or fit or athletic you think you are. Or how, if you're vegan, you can still get a heart attack. You can still get a heart attack if you're vegan. Okay. PSA done. But yeah, but usually people associate, as part of fat phobia, people associate heart attacks with being fat. And then that's how Mr. Kevin Samuels died. You cannot tell me. No. Okay, imagine Kevin Samuels was still around. He had a show, right? And somebody calls in and tells him this story. Yeah, I know this guy in his mid-50s. He was divorced twice and he could never get remarried again. When he died, he had a heart attack and he was actually happened to have been with a one-night stand, a stranger that he met just the night before, and he fell on top of her. She didn't know any information about him. She didn't know any family members to contact. And even if she did, if they called from his phone, the family members wouldn't answer. The guy didn't answer family calls, and the family didn't answer his calls back. But he had 1.4 million subscribers. Is he winning? Is this like the goal? Is this the mission? Is he contributing to the mission, to the Black unity and the healing of the Black family that you say you want to promote? You cannot tell me Kevin Samuels will say yes. Kevin Samuels will say no. This is, okay, I believe he's miserable. If he believes what he says, if he believes that adult Black people should be marrying each other, if he believes that the Black family unit is critical and crucial, if he believes that a father's involvement in their child's life is crucial, if he believes these things, he lived in misery because he abandoned his daughter, he cut off ties with his family, he divorced multiple times, and never remarried. If Kevin Samuels believes his mission, he did not approve of his own lifestyle. And if you don't approve of your own lifestyle, if you feel the life that you are living is not what you believe you should be living, you are not happy. This is one of the ways people get depression. I believe Kevin Samuels was miserable. And I don't think he would like if somehow you have a consciousness up there and you can look back and see it. I don't think he would be proud of how he passed. I think he would feel it's embarrassing. Now, if he doesn't believe in this mission, if he doesn't actually believe in Black unity and restoring the Black family unit, then he doesn't care. And he's a grifter because he's selling a pipe dream. He's selling a dream he doesn't even believe in. He's selling a dream he doesn't even want to contribute to. How are you going to talk about the marriage statistics in the Black community being so bad, but you are 50-something years old contributing to the bad statistic? Either he believed what he said and wasn't living it, thereby he's miserable, or he didn't believe what he said, lived exactly the way he wanted to live, and he's a grifter, selling a pipe dream. Here's what is plausible to me as well. I did a video a while back explaining why I think Kevin Samuels is not actually trying to help the Black community. And you can tell me that all you want. I don't believe it. You don't live what you preach, and you don't even attempt to listen. It's one thing if you're like, no, I believe it, I'm just having a hard time myself. That's one thing, right? Because there's a lot of people who believe, yes, people need to get married. That's what we should be doing. And I know I haven't done it, but I really want to, and I'm trying to, right? That's one thing. A lot of people can relate to that. But he doesn't ever acknowledge his own contribution to the very dysfunction he believes exists. Maybe he's ashamed, or maybe he doesn't care. And I believe the real agenda, and I came to this conclusion after I spoke with his friend Anton Jackson. Let me put a timestamp right here. 24:25. Okay. I spoke with his friend Anton Jackson, and based on what he told me, I feel the real agenda is just trying to put women back in their place. I think that's the real agenda. I think, y'all know, if you're on YouTube, you know that guy, Dad Podcast Challenge, whatever his name is. He's nasty. He's the one who claims his crusade is against family vloggers, but he spends more time making fun of women's breast size than listen, and I'm sorry, any man who's making fun of breast size. When I was 13, I would be like, oh my gosh, I guess her boobs are too small. I guess her boobs are too big. But as an adult woman, you kind of learn what dudes actually care about. Dudes don't give a damn about, like, dudes are not gonna sit there and make fun of your breast size. They are trying to get into them. They're trying to get them. They're not. So anyway, I'm sorry. I really do not like that guy. But right, I made a video a while back about how he's using a cause that sounds noble to actually push an agenda he knows is not noble. He knows it's not noble because if he were to just say what he wants to do, he wouldn't have supporters, right? Same with Kevin Samuels, right? If Kevin Samuels just said, fellas, we need to put women back in their place. There was a time when you were considered the authority. There were children, women, and then the men. And the women listened to you. There was a time that if a woman disobeyed you, you could discipline her the same way you discipline your children. If he came out just blatantly saying that, I don't know. Could he be successful? Maybe, because there are people who agree with that. There are people who want that. But that's really risky. I mean, you're really at risk of being removed from YouTube and Twitter and all of that. And you'll get, like, people who are against you will have a very clear reason to be against you that your fans can't defend. Your fans just have to say, submit, beat. Right? You can't just say that. So he uses things that sound nice, like uniting the Black community, restoring Black marriage and families. But you don't talk about that. Right? If you watch a full episode, he'll say that maybe once every other episode, something like that. I think the real agenda is just trying to create a culture of men who unapologetically try to control women. I think he wants to empower, embolden men to not feel bad, that they want more control over women than the woman might have over herself. That's my opinion. That's what I think the agenda is. I kind of made that realization when I was speaking to his friend Anton Jackson. And so Kevin Samuels, why Kevin Samuels is living in somebody else's apartment when he has $1 million net worth, I don't understand. That spells there's trouble. That's I don't know. I maybe. Who knows what in the world Kevin Samuels was getting into? Listen, I'm not even talking about, that picture they use of him like that. I'm not even if you know, you know. I'm not even going there. Have you noticed? I did not even go there. I did not even go there in this video. Don't have to. Anyway, Anton Jackson also has a net worth of $1 million. And Anton Jackson is actually married. Kevin Samuels' friend is actually married. And it just really hit me when I was talking to him. And I said, okay, all of that makes sense for a man such as you who's a millionaire. But the stuff you're saying doesn't apply to men who are not millionaires. And Anton said, you don't get it. This applies to every man. The dude could be unemployed. This applies to him because he's a man. And then he had to go. So I couldn't press him more on that. But that's when I realized, of course, wow. Why don't you just say that? There's a reason you can't just say that. There's a reason you cannot say a man has extra authority simply because he has a phallic genital. That's what I think. Listen, and that's my opinion. If you disagree, go ahead, let me know your thoughts. And also, don't be rude. In the comments, do not be rude. And don't be rude to anybody else who comments. If I see that, I read my comments. If I see you being stupid towards one of my commenters, you are automatically, first of all, I will drag you, and then you're bunked. Don't do that. Don't come for other people because you think I can't see it. I can see it. It's my channel. It's my channel. That's the other thing I've noticed about the Kevin Samuels fans. The kind of adds a little bit to my point. This is my channel. They get very upset that they don't have control over me on my channel. They get very upset. This is my channel. Okay. So, in conclusion, let's talk about what the fans are saying, okay? And how we'll address the fans. Time stamping again. So, one, the fans in this time of grief, you need to remember that feelings are valid, okay? I know during times of non-grief, you want to say feelings are not valid, right? They always use that argument. You just don't like how you feel when Kevin Samuels says XYZ. You too much emphasis on your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings, right? So now that they're grieving, some of them might be confused, right? And I want to remind you that your feelings are valid. Right? Like, this is somebody that you cared about. This was somebody who meant a lot to you, may have been a mentor figure for you. How you feel is valid, but how other people feel how you felt has always been valid. And how other people feel has also always been valid to them. So remember when you told them to ignore their feelings? Now is not the time to rescind that and start trying to shame people into feeling bad. Kevin Samuels promoted DV, CA, SH, and SA on his show. There are people who are survivors of that. Their feelings are just as valid as yours. They don't have to feel bad for somebody who's apologetic to that kind of stuff. They don't have to. They don't have to. And if ignoring feelings and ignoring other people's feelings was good enough when Kevin Samuels was alive, keep it consistent. It's good enough when he's gone too. Do not tell people who've had the personal experience dealing with people like Kevin Samuels. Do not tell them they have to feel bad. That is somebody you cared about, not us. Do not tell them they have to feel bad. Now, here's another thing. Not feeling bad does not mean you were wishing death on somebody. Right? Like, somebody you don't like or don't care for is gone. You're not grieving the way people who actually kind of cared about him are grieving. That doesn't mean you wished he would be gone. No. You're not the same. You're not the same. So stop saying that these people have been wishing unalivement upon him. They did not. Kevin Samuels is the one who directly said to callers, who some of them are allegedly fake, directly said to callers, you will unalive alone and miserable. He said that to them. Now he's actually done, that has actually now happened to him. He's the one, if anybody has wished unalivement upon others, is the one who experienced exactly what he wished on others. Grapple with that instead. What else should we address the fans on? Okay. For the ones who say it's just jokes, you like Kevin Samuels because there's a little bit of truth and it was funny. Okay, you know what? You have the right to have the humor of a toddler, whatever, right? There's a genre for that. It's a genre, all right. But just know that what is a joke to you is not a joke to others because they lived it. Like, they lived it, right? So you don't need to tell them it's just a joke or it was funny, because it was. No. Like, just because it's funny to you doesn't mean it's funny to everyone else, especially if they have dealt with those things or struggled with those things, right? So, and what's funny is, yeah, there are people joking. There are people making jokes about this on Twitter, right? Let me show you one. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. This one. Oh, wait. You have to see this one. Kevin Samuels trying to figure out who let women in their 30s with 4 kids in his funeral. I'm sorry. When I saw that, I did. It did. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a good one. So, there are people, and I'm sorry, sometimes a joke is just too good, okay? But to the people who are upset about the jokes, to the fans who are upset about the jokes, just remember that it was just jokes before. The fat shaming jokes were just jokes before. The kid jokes were just jokes before. The essay jokes were just jokes before. Like, there are a lot of things Kevin Samuel said that's just jokes that you thought were funny that were just jokes before. So it's just like, why do you feel like now you have the right to police what's just jokes now? This guy was a public figure, right? This guy was not your actual dad. He was not your friend. He was a public figure. He made a career off of having people think and feel a certain way about him. Intentionally. He intentionally targeted Black women. I made that tweet, and there were some guys who were confused by it. When I say he targeted Black women, I mean he's targeting them. He's asking them to call in. Allegedly hiring them to call in. Saying things to them that will make him go viral. He is targeting a group because, and he said that, and he said this. If you are an actual Kevin let's do the no true Scotsman argument right now. If you were an actual fan, you would have already known this because he said it on his live stream. But anyway, he said this. And he also said is to get more attention. He knows, and he just tweeted before he passed. He just tweeted this before he passed. He knows that if you criticize women, it's going to get a controversial response. He knows this. He decided, instead of giving advice, let me add controversy to my brand for more notoriety and money. He may have tried to pass off to his fans as, we're going to get the message out there more. But this man is a grifter. He caught a lick. Okay. I don't even remember what point I was trying to make. But, Oh, my point is, this is all intentional. The way people feel about him is what he intended. He knew full well he wanted to capitalize on it. He knew this, okay? I'm sure this is what he would expect. I'm sure if it was somebody else and not him, he would look at it and be like, yeah, worth it, right? I'm sure this kind of this response was worth it to him. It was worth it to him while he was alive. Yeah. So don't cry for me, Argentina. Don't cry for Daddy Samuels. This is what he wanted. Don't cry like that man was your brother. Don't call me sis because I'm not your sister. Okay. And then the fat phobia thing, I think I kind of touched on it lightly. I know there will always be people who think she's fat. Ha ha. Woman fat. Ha ha. I think it's very childish, but just to clear up some misinformation. If you're a man, first of all, you cannot be a man. I'm sorry. You cannot be a man and mock fat women for health reasons. You're a man. Have you seen the life expectancy for a man? Have you seen the life expectancy for a man who lives in certain cities, in certain demographics? Have you seen it? Please do not. That's a lot of audacity right there. I'm sorry. I just can't believe the audacity that this man died of a heart attack and he got super chats. He made money making fun of fat women and telling them they will get heart attacks. So don't concern troll. Kevin Samuels was mocking those fat women not because he was concerned for their health. I don't want to hear that it's unhealthy. You don't give a damn about their health. His show is about romance, attracting the opposite sex. He was making fun of those fat women because y'all would send him super chats because, ha ha, woman fat. And also, he's trying to get this point across that it's difficult to find love when you're fat. That's it. He's not concerned about your health. He's not talking about health. And you can get a heart attack at any size. At any size. And if you're a man, your risk is up. Your risk is higher than a woman that you think is fat. You have an even higher risk. Okay? Men need to actually start caring about their health. Stop concern trolling on women. Actually take control of your own health. Because this is an issue. Like, men, your life expectancy is low. It doesn't have to be as low as it is. And it's not discrimination in the medical field. It's not. The studies show it's not discrimination. It's a behavioral issue. Men they see the doctor significantly less. And some of these men's rights activists want to play that like it's a female's, like it's a privilege that we go to the doctor more. Women just tend to be more concerned about our health because there's more issues. There's more potential issues. We have a special kind of doctor. There's more potential issues. And if she's sexually active, she definitely will see the doctor more because the onus of protection is often put on her. Men don't go through that. They don't have like this societal and biological reason that makes them go to the doctor more. And I don't know. I feel like some men's rights activists are trying to say like, I don't know what they're trying to say. But anyway, I just had to address that fat phobic concern trolling. Men, if you're concerned about health, work on men's health because there's a lot of work to be done. The medical field is begging men to take their health seriously. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to say. Again, this was my opinion. And if you disagree, I love discourse in the comments. Just don't be stupid. That's the one that I can't deal with unwarranted insults. Like, first of all, calmate. Like, this is just the internet. I don't think I think I said anything offensive. If I said anything that's offensive, let me know in the comments. You know, nobody's coming for you. And you're probably anonymous. You probably have a cartoon picture in your profile pic, okay? With no videos of yourself. It is not that serious. You do not need to randomly insult people. Just say your piece and let's chat. And if I need to be corrected on something, post the evidence so I can pin it and let everybody know that, you know, here in the comments there's a correction, right? Okay. If you don't have anything to say, leave the paw print emoji so we know you made it to the end. I always talk for an hour. But I just had to say my piece on this because I just have to get it off my chest. I have to vocalize my thoughts. That's how I think. I'm one of those people, what do you call it? Like a verbal thinker. I just had to get it out. See who sees it. See what other people have to say. If anybody has anything to say. If anybody watches. I appreciate you. If you vibe with me, subscribe. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. Yeah. Moral of the story is, here's another thing. People are saying it's because he drank a lot of Red Bull. Don't say that. Don't say that. Listen. Be healthy. Right? But also know that you can go at any time. This life is not guaranteed. This world, it's not guaranteed. It really isn't. Just think about that every now and then. Appreciate every moment, every privilege. You know, it's not guaranteed. You can be so healthy. You could do everything right and still get diagnosed with cancer, kidney disease, heart issue. You know? Truly just make sure you can find joy as often as possible, please. And one thing that doesn't bring joy is anonymously being stupid on the internet or like defending the promotion of domestic V. That doesn't bring joy. I don't know. And also, this was a good lesson for me personally. You know, like, how are you seen when you pass? Like, when you pass, people remember how you made them feel. You know? And, I don't know, some people don't care. I feel like Kevin Samuels is the kind of person who probably doesn't care, but I care. Because how people feel about you in death, that's how they felt about you when you were alive. And isn't it nice to just like feel like I'm actually helping people feel positive, think positive? I know Kevin Samuels fans feel that way about Kevin, right? They feel like, oh, he made me laugh and he showed me the truth, right? So there's people who feel like that's what Kevin did, but I don't know. Just always give you something to think about. Why these fruit flies? Okay, now I gotta go. I gotta zap this fly. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Till next time, much love, much luck. Peace out.